Guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Lara. If you're new here, if you're not new here, welcome back. I am a social media manager and I run a freelance business with about 8 clients currently. If you are someone that wants to get into some sort of passive income, you want to sell something on the side, maybe you work a 9-to-5 and you just want some additional income, today I'm going to tell you one of the best ways that you can bring in some quick and easy income with little cost. If you want to learn about one of my best-selling digital products, then keep on watching. So you will likely hear about a ton of gurus online that sell digital downloads on Etsy, and they're making something like $30,000 a month. Today's video is going to be a little bit more realistic. I'll tell you right now, I started this really honestly about 2 months ago, where I actually was like focusing on posting these digital downloads. I designed everything through Canva, and I'm going to show you how you can do that too. But odds are you're not going to start making insane amounts of sales in the first month or two, but you can definitely start making some sales, especially when you're using optimized keywords, when you're optimizing the graphics of your listing, and when you're ultimately just creating a good digital product. One thing I've noticed is that realtors are highly active on Etsy. They go there looking for open house signs, they go there looking for open house activities, they look for business card mock-ups, like anything you can think of. You can create templates, or you can ultimately just create a download for them and send it to them. There's a couple ways that you can go about this, but today I'm going to show you the #1 listing that I've been having that's been selling pretty well in the last month. So when you're on Canva, you want to first go to the search bar, and you want to make sure that you type in US letter. This way, the document will be sized perfectly, 8.5 by 11 inches. And this is basically just makes it easy as a PDF so that your customers can just download as is, or they can use it as a template. So once you go into this document, you're going to want to go ahead and make a blank Canva document. It's just easier to work with, and there's a lot more potential with it. So I like to do 2 different ways of creating these downloads. I like to have one that's a template so that agents can put in their personal information. And I also just like to have one that's just the PDF. So maybe someone just wants to download the PDF and print that, or they want to add in their own personal touch. So I like to have both options. I find it sells better, and I think it's just a great tool. So what I tend to do first is do the personal option. So I like to go into elements and add lines and shapes. This way you can make it unique to who's buying it. So I usually go with like a simple, maybe black and white, or like a more modern color that more realtors are likely to use. So if you're kind of starting out, you might just want to do this for now, and then they can always change it when you use it as a template. And also this just makes it easier when someone's downloading it who isn't buying the templated version. That way they can just utilize this the way that they want to. Next, I like to add a circle. So typically if it's not appearing right away, you just go into lines and shapes and it will appear for you. So what I do here is I actually like to kind of just drag it to size it however I like, but I change the color so that it matches this element that I just put in here. Following that, I go to frames and I add the circle to match that, and I just drag it until there's like a bit of an outline here. Then what you can do is, if you want to leave it like this, you can, because they're going to add in their own image, or just to show them what it would look like, I go in here and I type in realtor. You can use any of these images here. I usually just go with something more basic like this. Then I like to handle all of this first. So now I'll add in your name here so that they know where to put their name, and I change the color so that it's obviously goes against the black here. And then I also add in your email. And over on this side, if you want, they can put in their number. So instead of having a number, I just put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. So there you go. That's a very simple design. You can add social media, you can do whatever you want, but for starters, this is perfect. So because this is going to be a product for realtors, what I like to do is play around with elements. So one thing to note is that elements standalone cannot be used. Basically, if you just have one simple element that someone else has created, you can actually get in trouble for selling it. And you'll notice that when you go into various elements and it will say here that you can use this in marketing or social media or even sell merchandise with a design on it, but it says don't resell, redistribute, or take credit for standalone media. So once you understand that, you can still make fun activities, but you just have to make sure that you add in other elements. So this first activity is going to be a coloring activity. And what I do is I make a ton of different coloring activities, but this is where I like to start. So I first type in home and I like to see all the graphics. Maybe if you're using this from a free account, you want to toggle off static and free. And here is a ton of different fun activities. So since this one's free and it kind of has more of a fun design to it, I am going to use this as the first element. And because they said it can't be standalone, let's find a different way to make it fun without just leaving it like this. So you can even add something like maybe grass, just to show that it's not completely standalone, that they wouldn't necessarily color. You can add clouds, you can add whatever you want. Maybe like a tree, maybe one where they can color it in. Something like that. You can just make it your own and play around with different elements so it's not completely alone. Then when I'm done and I like how it looks, I tend to go to text and just put a brief description of what they want them to do. So I put color in this home and make it your own. So then the kids, when they have this PDF, they can color it however they want. So this is a great product. Next, you can also do little things. I even have used templates to do this. So say you type in maze activities, but you can obviously change it to make it your own. So say you want to use this back to school maze challenge, you can play around with the background, make it your own. You can change the colors of the maze. You can put, for example, a key, little house key here to kind of keep it in the real estate theme. And, and you can add in your own element here. So you can put a person, and you can call it find the key maze challenge, and obviously change the font to match what you've already been creating. So help the owner find their keys. You have 5 minutes to find the key through this maze. So you can even make it simple and just change the fonts, change some of the mazes, change the things, change the elements of person, key, just to make it fun, but make it related to real estate. And you can obviously change the color of fonts. So these are some of the ways that I create all different activities. And again, if you want to add in all this information, you can do that right here. Or you can do it without the information, just and just sell it as a PDF. If you're ever kind of blocked, you can just look up activities. Oh, you can look up activities, and you can even put like fun little things like this. You can put what you're grateful for, and you can just use these as inspiration when you're creating an activity. So I will show you what I have created in the past. And show you for inspiration. So this one, you can make it your own. I did have other elements included in it, but I've taken them out since then just to show you. But you can do color in the house, make your own. So that's the same house as before. You can take the same elements and add them to it, so that's not standalone. Color in the modern house, and design your own key and color it in. I also took this really cool pattern and made one where you can like find the house icon, which you can kind of see is over here, but it's just a fun activity to do with kids. And I typed in free word search creator online, and it generated this one for me. I just added in the words that I wanted and how I wanted it displayed. So there's a ton of ways to go about it. Here's the real estate maze challenge, as you saw before I did. And yeah, so I typically do about 6 or 7 pages, maybe 5 to 10 pages to start. And then you just download it and you can sell it online. I typically price mine around 5 to 8 Canadian dollars. You can do it for less. Like I run sales all the time, but this is a product that I highly recommend selling. I've found success in it so far, and I think that others can do it too. Just kind of make it your own and look at how other people are doing it on Etsy and see how you can make it your own too.